So, as maybe a few people know from one of the YouTube shorts, I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. However, today we are going to be talking about this little deck here that got me to gold rank. And there was a different version of this that helped me get the platinum. So here's the card list for anyone who would want to try and make a gamble deck. It's pretty fun to do a gamble deck. Okay, let's get on with this. Of course, for the first thing we're going to mention is Slot Machine. He's just a normal monster, but he's a literal slot machine. This monster is going to be more of your brick monster. You really don't want to see him in your opening hand, like at all. And then, of course, we have 3 Time Wizards, because Time Wizard is freaking cool. And we have Dice Jar for the possibility of dealing 6k damage after a flip effect. We run 3 of these because if you run 2, you're not going to get it. And also, if you have, say, one of your other boss monsters in your hand, you can use Dimension Dice here to, if you control a card with an effect that requires a dice roll, you contribute 1 monster and special summon a monster with an effect that requires a dice roll from your hand or deck. And this card works with your secondary boss monster, Orgoth the Relentless. He has a fat effect. This is probably my favorite gamble-based card because he really has no downsides. 1 or 2, he cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. 3 or 4, draw 2, and 5 or 6, this card can attack directly. But if 2 of the results were the same, you can apply the appropriate effect, and if all 3 are the same, apply all these effects. Orgoth the Relentless is a beast. You should probably run 2 of these in your deck, to be entirely honest, and maybe switch out one of the cards I give you for a suggestion. Now for everything else, we have Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. The only reason why this is in this deck is because this is our Ash Blossom. You can send this card to your hand or the field to the graveyard to destroy a card on the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. Yeah, you destroy whatever activates an effect or spell or trap card effect. This is not important. We all know what hand traps do. We have 2 Jirai Gumos because this is a 2200 level 4. And when this card declares an attack, toss a coin and call it. If you call it wrong, lose half your life points. This can get risky, but we pair off a lot of things with second coin toss, which is pretty obvious. We have 3 Cry-Ool. When you send this card to the graveyard, toss a coin, call it. If you call it right, destroy 1 monster on your opponent's side of the field. And we have probably one of my other favorite boys, Sasuke Samurai number 4. I used this guy when I was a kid, and the fact that I can use him in this game and maybe have a chance is also pretty cool. We have 2 Twin Barrel Dragons and 2 Misjudge. Misjudge is the heavy hitter here, but I had 3 of her in this deck originally. I'd keep getting multiple copies of her at once, and I couldn't really do a combo. And the 1 of monster is Dice Clops because, yeah, that effect isn't that good. But if you get a 1, you can look at your opponent's hand and discard a card from their hand, and he's 1800, so not bad. And then, of course, we have our spells and traps. This is going to get ridiculous. Of course, we have Raigeki, Harpies, Upstart, 2 double summons, 2 Cup of Ace, a Claw of Hermos, which we will pair with, of course, the only thing we really can pair is the Time Magic Hammer. This thing is great. When you attack a monster, you roll a dice, and you banish that monster for the appropriate number to the dice roll. If you get a 6, a lot of people quit out. And then, of course, we have 2 Dimension Dice, 2 Dark Sanctuaries, 2 second coin tosses, 2 Shard and Jar of Greed, 2 Graceful and Skull Dice, 1 Called by the Grave. We already know what this does, and I only had 1 in here because I don't have a lot of ultra rare. Yep, Skull Dice, Dust Tornado for back row removal. This is only when we're low. And then Draining Shield for more life point gain. And finally, Needle Wall for the final trap. And now the extra deck. This is entirely optional to you. You really probably don't have to have Link monsters in here. The only reason why I have a Space Insulator and Code Talker is for Double Bite Dragon, who is unaffected by monster effects except Link monsters and cannot be destroyed by battle except by a Link monster. But you need both of these guys out first, Code Talker and Space Insulator, and they're pretty easy to pull out if you wanted to get any other Link ones to then try and make Double Bite. That would probably be better. And then we have 2 number 52 Diamond Crab King. This thing is a fucking beast. And it has saved my ass a lot. This is an optional monster, but if I equip this to, say, Crazy Box, he can now attack, I think. I should really put a skill drain so then this guy can actually attack. This was my original boss monster, which is just a 3k wall. And I usually get 6 a lot, so I don't really use this effect too often, but you could probably get luckier than I can. And of course, everything that you see on the screen is optional. It's entirely optional. You do not have to have any of the selection that I give. However, I've tried a lot more cards, and these are kind of the heavier hitters that I have. I had Gatling Dragon, but I never really had the material to get him out. And I'm actually saving up for Blowback Dragon now to probably replace Dice Clops. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching this. If this gets a bit of attention, I'll probably make more videos on this. Bye.